Hello and welcome everyone. So I'll be explaining Codeforces round 767 division 2 problem D, peculiar movie preferences. Okay, basically in this problem you're given a list of n strings. N will be up to 10 to the power 5. But interestingly, those strings length will be at most 3. Now this is very important because this as they have given that the string's length is at most 3, it's going to help us in observing a solution regarding this problem. Because of this is at most 3, each and every string's length could be at most 3. We could come up with a solution regarding prefix and suffix. How is that? I'm going to talk about it later. But first, what we need to do, we're given n strings of length at most 3. What we have to do is we have to output yes or no, and the condition is that is there going to be any subsequence that I could make from those strings, any subsequence, and the final string would be the concatenation of those chosen subsequence string. After that, the resulting string should be a palindrome. If I could make that somehow, then then the answer would be yes. Otherwise, if there is no other way that you could possibly make it, then the answer is no. Okay. To explain it more broadly, let's take one example here. Okay, I've already taken one example. Like, let's say for this test case, we have 3 strings and their length is at most 3. And as you can see, if you observe it carefully, you will understand that, okay, I can make one subsequence taking from this array of strings such that if I concatenate, it's going to become a palindrome. How is that? If I take AB and CBA, and if I concatenate, it's going to give me A, B, C, B, A, and thus becoming a palindrome. Similarly, that's exactly what we have to do. Now, I'm going to make some claim here. Before jumping on to the solution, I've done this problem into I've divided this problem's solution into 3 parts. The first part is that if you find any string including regarding this array, any string, if that already is a subsequence, then I will directly just say yes, because I've already got one string which is already a palindrome. If a string inside an array is already a palindrome, the answer is yes, straight up yes. Otherwise, then the second and the third cases come. So this was like a corner case type, you could say. Now the other 2 cases are very important, and they are the main solution. Okay, now the way the 2 cases is gonna work is that, remember what I told you, that strings will be at most 3. Strings length will be at most 3, right? And that's gonna help us, because if the strings length are not more than 3, then I could make a claim like that, which is something like, if first of all, number one, the first claim would be, I could always, if there is a possible answer inside that array, then I could always make a palindrome. If the answer is possible, if there is somehow a palindrome available inside the array, then I could always make make that palindrome out of only 2 strings. That's it. I just only need 2 strings to make that palindrome. That's my number 1 claim. If you ask me why, it's because the length of these strings are not more than 3. If that would have been more than 3, then it would not be that much of convenient to figure out the solution. But as they've given the string's length is at most 3, I could make that claim that it's always possible to, if there is a possible answer, then the palindrome has to be there has to be a palindrome if I concatenate 2 strings. Of course they have to be subsequence, but yeah, the bottom line is like that. Okay. Now, about the second case and the third case. What could that be? Okay. The first and yeah, about the first claim. After that, now I'm going to make another claim, which is I'm going to make a prefix. In order to implement this solution, I've also used a map, but the map's internal 2 values were string, meaning the string itself, a map of string, the map, let's say map of string and vector, meaning the first of the pair will be I'm going to map each and every string with a vector. And why is that? I'm going to explain it later. But I used this STL map of a string and vector because it required to solve the problem. Okay. Now, my second claim would be something like this. I'm gonna traverse the array from the first index till the last index, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna map each and every string. Listen carefully. I'm gonna map each and every string, and I'm gonna push back inside the vector. Why is that? Because I was using the map. The second pair, the second pair value was the vector, right? Connecting to the string, meaning for each and every string that I'm going to traverse from the first till the last, I will insert at the particular index where that particular string was inside the array. Meaning, if let's say for example for this array I'm traversing from left to right and I found string AB, what I'm going to do is simply insert this string as a map, like this, map of AB. You could say map of AB, this is string dot pushback. You know what I'm saying? Like for each and every string, I'm gonna if it even occurs, let's say it could occur, let's say for example it occurred in forward further some index, then I'm gonna just insert the index itself. That's all. So let's say this index is 0, meaning the first value is 0 of this array for that particular string. Then again I've got another AB, 0, 1, 2, 2. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to do. For each and every string I'm going to do that, and that is definitely going to help us. Okay. Similarly, for the third case, I'm going to do the same implementation, but it's going to be a bit different. It's going to be in a reverse way. How is that going to be a reversible way? Meaning I'm gonna traverse from the back from n-1 from the last index till the first index, and what I'm gonna do is simply take the reverse of these strings. Listen carefully. I'm gonna traverse from the back and I'm gonna take the reverse of these strings. Remember what I told you before. I'm gonna solve this problem using prefix and suffix count of the strings. So for each and every string, I'm gonna count the prefix and the suffix. So the prefix count were like this, and the suffix count is gonna work like that. And this index for each and every string is gonna help us later solving this problem. Okay. So for the third case, what I was doing, I was traversing from the back, and for this case, let's say for this case, it's gonna be, if I reverse this string, it's gonna be A, B, C, right? It's gonna be A, B, C, and I'm gonna push back, and the index would be the last index. So I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say here. Okay. Now, so this was like the two cases description. How are we gonna put those values of the string? Now, how are we gonna solve the problem? First of all, as I've told you, if I get any perfect answer, it will always be the concatenation of two strings, meaning one string and the other string, their concatenation. Now, the best way to do that is I'm going to loop through from the first till the last, and for each and every string, let's say this is a string, this is a string, and this is a string, and this is a string too. So for each and every string, I'm traversing from the for each and every string, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check for each and every prefix whether this prefix, remember this is like what, let's say this is 3 length, this is 2 length, this is like 3 length, this is like 3 length, just imagine. Okay, so I will traverse the array from the first for the first string. I'm gonna check. Now for each and every string, I'm gonna check something. I will check whether I can make this string as part of my answer. Then where's gonna be the other part? You might have a question. If I want to make this answer, make this my answer. If I want to make this as my part of the palindromic first string or whatever, then where's gonna be the second string? How am I gonna find out? For that case, as the result is gonna be a palindrome, meaning I have got some of the answers already in the prefix. I hope you're getting that, because palindrome, you know what happens in palindrome. The first character is equal to the last, the second one is equal to the second last, right? Which means I could traverse, if I want to make this as part of the palindrome, then definitely there has to be some prefix. There has to be some prefix of this string itself, which is going to be the whole part of some suffix of any of the further string. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. If you're not understanding, let me take an example. Let's take the previous example again. Okay, A, B, C, D, and C, B. Let's say this. Okay, wait a sec. What was that? C, B, A, B, and B, C. Let's say. Okay, sorry, AB was first, so C, B, A. Now think about it. Think about that you're traversing from here. Let's assume, okay, the first case was like, okay, let's just traverse it from the back. For this case, it will be easier for you to understand. Then we're gonna get to the first way too. Okay, I'm traversing from the back. Imagine I'm calculating for, okay, how about this, ABC and then BC and then I have BA. I think that is a very plausible example that I could explain you. Okay, so we have ABC, we have BC, we have BA. Now I know that there is an answer, but I have to implement that. Now in order to find out an answer, I'm going to assume each and every string that this is my part of the palindrome. If this is part of the palindrome, then there has to be some prefix of this string existing as a suffix in further strings, not backward. Why not backward? Because I'm executing it as a subsequence. I hope you're getting. I want to make this as my first part of my palindrome. The second part's some members should be existing here, right? And that is the prefix. That could be some prefix of the first string. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make a point here. Look, let's say, okay, I'm gonna check like that. Okay, first A. Okay, I have no a of suffix available in front. Let's take AB. Okay, is it available? Did we calculate it something like that? Of course we did. We did in the third case. Remember what I told you before. When we were traversing from the back, we were calculating this BA reversively, meaning AB, and we were inputting the index itself, which is here. Now, if that index would have been in this place or in this place, then the answer would not exist for that index. Then we would have popped out that index. Then we would have popped out that index because that was not needed. But this index, first of all, it is a plausible answer. Why? Because this prefix is appearing as a whole suffix in front, in further index, which is BA. Because BA, if you reverse it, it becomes AB. And you know what that is, right? Because if you concatenate these two, it becomes a plausible solution, which is a palindrome. I hope you understand that. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, let me take you to the code section to make you understand more about what I did. Although my code is a bit messy, but let's see how much we could figure out. Okay, first of all, this is the test case, taking the input. Now, about the initial case, I'm going to check whether any string is a palindrome or not, as I've already told you beforehand. That was the case. And apart from that, there was the second and third case that we were doing. This was the second one and this was the third one. Remember what we took two maps for the two cases, for the second and the third, two maps. Each and every map consisting of strings and vectors. Vectors are needed because of the subsequence, as I've told you, and the string is to map the string with the particular vector. Okay. Now, okay. Now, okay, this was the, okay, we've stored the values for each and every string, traversing it from back and forth. This was the third case and this was the second case. I hope you're getting. I'm traversing from the back, making the strings reverse value, because we're going to compare it with the prefix. That's why, and we're pushing the index as a as a purpose of vector inside and mapping with the string itself, right? And yes, that's it actually. And after that, the big part, for the second case and for the third case, similarly what we're doing, we're checking for each and every string. The code is a bit messy, but I think you can implement that with your own intuition. For each and every string, I'm just calculating the prefix and whether that prefix is appearing as a suffix from our map for that particular string. If it does appear, then I have to check with the index, because we also need to care about the subsequences. So I hope you get what I'm trying to make you understand. As I've told you, the code is really messy, but you could implement it in a much more convenient and easy way. This was for the second and this was for the third, I guess. And yeah, I hope you understand. I hope I did make you understand. And one thing to tell you is that I've created another playlist consisting of corner case. Playlist name is like corner case of a particular topic. Already uploaded a video regarding tree problems. Link will be in the description, and I hope you will watch that too. So yeah, till next time, goodbye.